Slavkin. I am your business attorney of the group, and I mean business. So you heard a little bit of my background. Thank you, Miranda, for the introduction. I come from a very interesting family. Probably many of you don't have family that was in the auctioning business. There's one member of this group who actually knew my father. He was a commercial auctioneer for 50 years in Southern California, and was kind of a legend in his own mind, but in my mind too. And my sister, I have an older sister who is an appraiser at a large thrift store in Culver City. And yes, my brother is a charter fishing boat captain. Any of you love to fish? This boat is out of Oceanside, California, and if you want to go, I'll hook you up. You'll probably get a special deal because you know his sister. So I've been a lawyer for a while. I am, as you know, the business lawyer of the group. And what that means is I handle all aspects of both transactional and litigation. And when I say transactional, that means that I form entities, whether it be a partnership, corporation, LLC, or even sole proprietorship. And I also do other types of things, like I draft employment agreements, independent contractor agreements, shareholder agreements, operating agreements, purchase order agreements, subcontractor agreements, contractor agreements, any type of agreement you can imagine, I've probably drafted it. And then the other side of my practice is the business litigation side, which is really the side I love because I'm actually a frustrated actress. So I get to show up in court and I get to pretend to be whoever I want to be. When I was about 13, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actress. And then as I grew up and I was about 15, I wanted to be a clothing designer. And I went to New York and decided, no, that wasn't for me. And then I decided to be, well, I really wanted to be an actress, but it would be so disappointing, all those rejections. So I thought, well, I'll be a lawyer, and then I can use my acting skills in the courtroom, which is what I do, which I think really helps me both to gain a good rapport with juries and also judges. And when I say business litigation, usually it's about money. It's usually somebody owes somebody money, or an employee is suing, or a contractor you did business with is suing, or you're owed money and you need to sue somebody, or it could be any number of disputes in a business context. That's what I do. And I thought I would go over some of the mistakes that, I know this isn't, some of the mistakes, what I call the 5 business mistakes business owners make in running their business. The first one is entity formation. How do you choose an entity that's best for you? Is it best if you're a sole proprietor? Is it best if you're a corporation? Is it best if you're an LLC or a partnership? Those are some of the issues that I can help you with. And very important to begin with when you begin any type of business is to decide what's going to work best for you, both tax-wise, both if you're... I was trying to move it over. I always work with accountants to make sure that you're set up in a way that will most beneficial for you in a tax context. And so when you do decide what works best for you, some of the pitfalls that people make in forming a business is they go on LegalZoom and maybe they'll file for a corporation, but that's all they do. And if you're a corporation, whether it's a C corporation, which is like a general corporation, or a subchapter S, which has tax benefits to the individual, are you doing yearly minutes? Do you once a year prepare minutes for your corporation? If there's another person involved with you, do you have a shareholders agreement? Or is it just your brother-in-law and you have a handshake, and then all of a sudden your brother-in-law doesn't become your brother-in-law anymore and he decides to sue you, then what do? You have nothing that kind of except for the corporations code that guides you in terms of how are you going to divide up this corporation, or how are you going to buy out each other from the corporation. So it's very important, if there's more than one of you in a corporation, that you have a shareholders agreement. If you decide the best entity for you is an LLC, known as a limited liability company, then then do you have one of the benefits of an LLC is you don't have to have yearly minutes. So it gives you a lot more flexibility. It's very important, again, if there's more than one of you in this LLC, that you have a very detailed, what we call an operating agreement. And that operating agreement will govern how the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of you interact and run this business. Another mistake that is often made has to do with employment issues. Many of you have employees. Many of you have independent contractors. A lot of people decide to hire people and label them as independent contractors so they don't have to pay the taxes. However, if that person is under your control, if he works for you full-time, if you give that person his assignments and you tell him what hours to work and what to do, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that's an employee. And if the EDD gets a hold of you or that person decides to file for unemployment insurance, they're going to consider him, they're going to reclassify him as an employee, and they're going to penalize you for not having paid those taxes. So it's a big issue right now, how to classify your employees. If you just hire somebody occasionally, or you give them a project and say, you have 2 weeks to finish it, work on your own hours, do what you want, chances are you can probably get away with it being an independent contractor. If he's working for you full-time, the only reason you've decided he's an independent contractor is to avoid paying taxes, he's an employee. So be very careful with that. Another mistake a lot of people make is that they fail to protect their most valuable assets, customer, client lists, and marketing materials. So you start a business and you develop certain marketing materials that are geared especially to your business. I had a couple clients in the past that were in the tax resolution business, and they developed very detailed marketing plan and strategy and a client list. And they, of course, had an employee that decided he could do it better and opened up down the street, called himself Joe's Tax Resolution. And we go on their website, and the website is identical to my client's with just a different name. So, of course, we followed the lawsuit. We ended up, through mediation, settling that and wanting some money. But it's very important when you hire somebody as an employee or as an independent contractor, that's the importance of having one of the most important aspects of having an agreement with that employee or that independent contractor is that there is a clause that protects your, what we call trade secrets or trade information, which could include client lists, marketing materials, website, all those types of things that you've spent thousands of dollars developing or purchasing. You want to make sure somebody can't steal it. 2 minutes? Okay. Another mistake that a lot of people make is they have, I have the business contracts, including purchase orders. Should everything be in writing? Yes! Because I know some of you have been doing business for a long time and you do business on a handshake. That's how my father did business. And it worked for him for a long time until it didn't work anymore. Because you'll meet somebody who doesn't have your same moral compass, doesn't quite have your same ethics, and they stop paying you. And what do? You have to sue them. Well, do you have a purchase order that says you get your attorney fees back? Probably not. That's a good header to put on any type of purchase order, that failing to pay within 30 days, you get a late charge assessed and costs of collection. That way you get your attorney fees back. Most people forget to put attorney fee clauses in both agreements, contracts, and especially purchase orders. So maybe they're owed 20 grand, but they have to spend 30 grand to get them, and they don't get their attorney fees back, and so they end up not even doing anything. Anyway, I'll just leave the last minute for any questions anybody has. Michael?
Yeah, this is more of a testimonial than a question. I referred somebody to Wendy because there was an issue as to whether or not they were an independent contractor versus an employee. So we all have people working for us or working with us. It's really good. Wendy's great at this. She can customize an independent contractor agreement, and I use this in my practice all the time. It's called an SSA. You file with the IRS to determine whether or not somebody's either an employee or an independent contractor. There's a California companion to it, and it works great on my side when I'm trying to get the other side to. They look like they're dodging their taxes, so it affects their credibility on the other side. side. But Wendy's great in setting up independent contractor agreements to insulate you and protect you as an employer so that you're not being sued and you're not going to pay taxes. And she can do all that. She also puts together employment handbooks, which is really important to have. And there are personal time off, PTO laws that have gone into place that are effective. As I think they go into effect now here in June. So she can tell you all about that. She'll give you a free consultation. Just fill out a tip form. If you have your own business, just fill out a tip form, get a free consult for an employee handbook. You don't want a payroll company or somebody to do an employment handbook. You want it customized and personalized. She does it great. It's reasonably priced, free consultation. Go ahead and do that.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Wendy.